Hello there. As you probably already know, this review is going to be about WWE All Stars. Now let's just get over the introduction crap. This game was developed by THQ. Now even though this game was developed by THQ, it was not produced by THQ. According to Wikipedia, this game was produced by a man named Sal DeVita. Now Sal DeVita is a guy who actually produced a game for WWE before. Back when WWE was known as WWF, back in 1995, he helped produce a game called WWF The Arcade WrestleMania Game, which is a highly loved game among wrestling fans, even though I've even played it. So why did WWE or THQ go back to Sal DeVita to produce a game? That's a good question. You see, my theory is that THQ actually do listen to their fans. Yeah. Now, if you read a lot of the message boards, you'll see that a lot of people actually don't like the new Smackdown vs. Raw kind of games. They say that it's too real, it's too simulated, it's too much like the real WWE programming. And basically what they want is more of a throwback to the more arcade, fast-paced, beat-em-up kind of games, which is kind of fair enough. I mean, WWE Smackdown started off with the first couple of games as fast-paced, beat-em-up action type. So what better way to give the fans what they want, than going back to Sal DeVita? I don't know. Okay, so enough crap. This game, WWE All Stars, was released on March 29th, 2011 in North America, and it was released on April 1st, 2011 in Europe. Now again, everything I've just said is all according to Wikipedia, and I don't know if my voice is going to hold out. Okay, so this game was released for the Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, PlayStation Portable, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3. As you can tell from the cover, the artwork actually tells you a lot about the game. The most noticeable is being the oversized, exaggerated, cartoonish, action figured-like wrestlers. Yes, this game lets you know right off the bat that you should not expect any kind of realism that you see in Smackdown vs. Raw. So with that being said, let's start the game. Okay, so this is where all the pre-credits kind of roll and all the pretty much don't try this at home stuff. Other than that, it pretty much takes you directly to the press start menu, which predictably when you push start brings up the main menu, in which you have Exhibition, Online, Path of Champions, Fantasy Warfare. I'll come to those two later on. Create a Wrestler, Options, and Extras. Yeah, I love how absolutely basic the options are. Speaking of basic, check out the Exhibition menu. You got Standard, Tornado Tag, Steel Cage, Extreme Rules, and Elimination. That's all 5 matches. Yes, I know this game is not trying to be advanced and diverse like the Smackdown vs. Raw games. This game knows exactly what it is and it doesn't fuck around. Let's choose Standard, which shows you some more match types. Then you choose whether you want to be red or blue, which is kind of funny because you see a robot which represents the AI, and it's even wearing a spandex. The character selection screen. As you may notice pretty quickly, that the active wrestlers are on one side and the legends are all on another side. Also, according to the amount of question marks you see, I'd say there is about 10 other wrestlers that you have to unlock. Yes, I chose Triple H, and I'm gonna face Austin. I know, I'm predictable. But you've got 3 arenas to choose from: Raw, SmackDown, and WrestleMania. There are more, but you do have to unlock them. Okay, now we reach the entrances, and these entrances are just like most of the other things in this game, and that is being basic. The entrances are short, and I mean short, like 10 to 15 seconds short. All it really is just a wrestler in the entrance doing their signature pose and then starting to walk to the ring. Fades out to black and that's it. You know, I remember TNA doing the exact same thing with their entrances on TNA Impact. Which is probably not a coincidence because a lot of the people that worked on TNA actually did also work on this game. If you ever wonder why they're so similar, well that's probably why. You know, it's been a while since I've done this, but I really want to time the loading screens. Man, I'm screwed. Better. 28 seconds. Not too bad, but it's not that great either. Okay, so now how does a good old gameplay hold up? Let's see, well, this Triple H versus Austin is my first match, and yes, I admit, I really got my ass kicked. Pretty bad. Obviously, I didn't know the controls at the time, but what you do is that you learn very quickly that square punches and triangle does an even more powerful, albeit slower punch, which makes it a lot more easier for your opponent to counter the triangle punch. Now X does a quick grapple, which lets you perform quick technical moves, like a hip toss or an arm drag. The left analog stick moves your character. Now every move you perform and execute successfully, whether it be a punch or a grapple, builds up your bar. Yes, it fills up not one bar, but 2 bars. One bar is on the side of your wrestler's face and it has a F at the top. I presume that F stands for finisher. Now the other bar is at the bottom underneath your character's face. This has kind of 3 stages to it. When you fill up one stage, you get a star inside it, which means that you can perform a signature move. Not a finisher, but a signature move, which you can do by pushing square and X at the same time or triangle and circle at the same time. When you do this, your character will turn blue or red depending on which color you choose at the beginning, and then perform their signature move, which in this game is exaggerated by the good old dramatic matrix effect. But if you are hit when you're trying to do a grapple, then you will lose your red or blue color and have to refill your bottom bar again. Oh yeah, and running uses up your signature bar as well. Okay, IGN put up a really quick, and I mean really quick, video review about doing the finishers on All Stars, and it seems that the reviewer got a little bit confused.
You have to tap buttons to taunt to earn your finisher, and then you have to tap those buttons again to unleash the finisher, but you can get hit while doing either of these motions and get screwed out of the move. However, there's this ability to hold the finisher buttons. Complicated, right?
Truth is, holding down L1 and R1, if you hold them both down, you will use your finisher straight away. But if you tap L1 and R1, you will store your finisher, so you can use it later. Although if you do store your finisher and you get hit, you lose it and you have to get it back again. I mean, even the most tiniest, most unnoticeable little punch will make you lose your finisher if you store it, so you might as well just use it straight away. Okay, reversals. Now reversals in the game are actually pretty easy. You push L1 to reverse grapples, and you push R1 to reverse punches. Now I noticed personally just tapping L1 all the time doesn't really work. You have to tap L1 just before you see this little sign saying tap L1, which I thought was kind of weird. You know, the good old health bar. Okay, now this health bar has 4 stages. You got green to start off with. Now as you get beat up more, you turn yellow, then eventually you turn orange, and then eventually you turn red. Now this is very similar to how WWF Warzone did it. What I also kind of liked was this mini bar thing that appears when you are in or executing a pinfall or submission. Now if you are in it, then you have to mash the buttons to get the red bar to the top. But if you are executing it, you can be a bit of an asshole and mash the buttons to raise the bar even more, making it harder for your opponent to get the red bar to the top. Heck, you know what, the extra length of bar right there has actually been the deciding factor in a lot of my matches. After the match, you get a card that tells you in stars just how good you did in certain areas. If you lose, then you usually get shit all stars. No pun intended. Okay, now for the Creator Wrestler mode. Now as you may have guessed, yes, this mode is also just like the rest of the game, very basic. As far as I saw, you can't really choose your moves specifically. You have to choose a move list from another wrestler. But you can choose your own finisher, but they can be only finishers that other wrestlers have. But entrances are all customized for you. There's no option to customize them yourself. Still, you can make your wrestler look like pretty much whatever you want. And you know what, I'm guessing most of us are kind of spoiled from the Smackdown vs. Raw creator wrestlers. There is a mode called Fantasy Warfare, which basically what it is just a bunch of preset matches in which they pair wrestlers from the past to similar-ish wrestlers from the present. Now the first match is the Ultimate Warrior vs. Sheamus. Get it? Because they're both big guys and they're both warriors. You can choose which wrestler you want to be, either Sheamus or Warrior, which is followed by a long video presentation about the two wrestlers. I'd love to show you, but I don't know where WWE stands with YouTube and copyright, so forget about it. So you play through the match, beat your opponent, in which you start to unlock stuff, and then you move on to the second past versus present match. It's Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, in which you see another long video and have a match and unlock more stuff. It just goes on and on like this until you beat all the matches pretty much. Do you get anything really awesome at the end? I don't know, I didn't really make it that far. But it is necessary to go that far if you want to unlock everything in this game. Now this may not seem like much, but luckily there is another mode in the game. I believe that mode is called Path of Champions. Here you can choose to go after Undertaker, Orton, DX, and well, that's pretty much it. But I went after The Undertaker, in which I had to play through 10 matches just to get to him. Now there are some cutscenes here and there, but you know what, it was just really typical. You know, Paul Bearer, Undertaker, you know, rest in peace, we're gonna bury you, and all that kind of stuff. But you know what, it was a little bit nostalgic to see Paul Bearer and Undertaker in a funeral parlor. I mean, that's what they used to do back in the early 90s, for those of you who don't know. As you progress through the matches, you see some more cutscenes that aren't really that much different. Eventually I made it to SummerSlam and I faced The Undertaker. And yeah, it was a lot more tougher than I thought it would be actually. But you know what, that's what actually makes this game fun. The challenge. Did you hear that? Oh my god, it's the Bionic Undertaker! Yeah, so I did beat The Undertaker, and then he ran around the ring with the belts and fireworks going on. And that's pretty much it. I don't think Orton or DX are much different, apart from DX. The whole thing's like a tag team kind of thing I heard, but apart from that, I don't think Orton and DX are that much different from The Undertaker. That's basically all I wanted to say about this game. Is it good? Well, I guess that's kind of personal, really. If you always wanted an arcade-like throwback, then this game is perfect. If you like the Smackdown vs. Raw gameplay and not the arcade-style gameplay, then you will probably hate this game. Did I like this game? Yeah, I did. Although this game is pretty short and doesn't have much to it, which in this day and age means the game will probably get old really quick. You know what, if I was a kid, I would have absolutely loved to have this game. And I think that's what this game is trying to do, appeal to a younger demographic. But just because it is made for kids doesn't mean that it will not appeal to older people either. One last note, this game has actually given me some of the most amusing PlayStation 3 trophies I've ever seen. Some of them you don't have to do anything for, you just get them. But still, my favorite trophy that I got in this game was the 5 Moves of Doom trophy. Yeah, 5 Moves of Doom. In case you don't know what the 5 Moves of Doom are, that's pretty much what internet smarks like to refer to John Cena's wrestling style. Because all he really does is 5 moves. And there's a trophy for that, which made me laugh. Out loud. Quite loud. Very loud. Overall, I'm glad that WWE released a game like this. I mean, a lot of people will hate this game, but this game's not trying to appeal to everybody. It's simply trying to appeal to the people who wanted a throwback to the arcade-like gameplay. That's pretty much been my review, basically. Thanks for watching.